What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to The Good, The Bad and The Stupid. It's Tuesday the 10th of November. Welcome if you've not been here before. It's a podcast. It's also a video. The videos are on YouTube. Check them out. Or if you like my sexy voice in your sexy ears, then stay where you are and stay listening to the podcast. I'm picking up whoever's listening on these different podcast stations. Thank you and welcome. Maybe you're an alien, maybe you're in space and somehow you found it because people are listening to it on some unusual podcast platforms. I've never even heard of them, but you found me on there. So good. Maybe you're sitting in your shed. You're a little old man sitting in your shed in your garden, listening to the World Service, and all of a sudden I've popped up and started talking nonsense, and you go, what is this load of bollocks? I'm going to carry on listening to it because just to trying to figure out what the hell is there's no what's the word? There's no regulations and no. So the digital world is open to everybody. There's no quality control. This guy's got himself onto the airwaves and he talks a load of bollocks, but bollocks to somebody. Entertainment to others, education to even very, very few. I don't think I'll be educating too many of you. But anyway, hope you're well, and you will be well, according to the news and every single newspaper, because the vaccine's here. Conveniently, the vaccine that cures 90% of all coronavirus cases has been found by, no doubt, or no other than Pfizer, one of the top drug pharmaceutical companies in the world. They've got the best vaccine that's been ordered from everybody around the world. It cures 90% of people from the disease. As of spring, we're all going to be back to normal. It's almost like they had it ready and waiting. Just after the American elections, they had the drug already waiting to bring it out. Planned. Is it planned? Is it not? Whether it's fucking planned or not, you got to think that there's powers above that are using this situation to their benefit. I don't doubt at all that there's a virus, because there is, because it's killing people. But you've got to doubt that you've got to fucking question the timeline of things and how things conveniently fit into place to make a lot of people money. That Pfizer's going to make a fucking killing out of this. Who's invested in that, I wonder? But regardless, we all want to move on. So if it means taking the vaccine, more people taking the vaccine, and then we can pretend that the coronavirus is gone and disappeared forever, so be it. But the one person who I don't mind who's got the COVID, and hopefully it kills him, yes, hopefully it kills him, is the Yorkshire Ripper. The Yorkshire Ripper's in hospital, gravely ill. Gravely ill. That's a pun there, isn't it, really? Because he is gravely ill, first of all, and also he put a lot of people in their grave, and that's why he's called the Yorkshire Ripper, and that's why we all want him to die. But he's 74, so he could have a lot of life left ahead of him, so hopefully he doesn't, and it finishes him off. I don't know what else he's got, but he's fighting for life. Nobody's going to be bothered about that. In fact, you should keep the coronavirus just for those circumstances. Just let it. Anybody that's got it, put them in a hospital bed that's near a load of serial killers, and then you can kill them off by not actually doing it through the system and having to answer any questions. Just go, oh shit, he caught coronavirus. That's a shame. And then put it onto the next one. Oh shit, he caught coronavirus as well. That's a shame. Bit of a pattern here, but doesn't really matter, does it? It can be a weapon then against all the fucking arseholes in the world. Anyway, what was I going to say? I was moving on. I've got these in no order whatsoever, so you'll be glad to know that I'm being the unprofessional professional, as usual. 1 in 3 motorists admit to have soaked pedestrians by driving through puddles. 1 in 3. Come on, that's one of the perks of being a driver. If you're a pedestrian and you're walking along a very wet road next to a very big puddle, it's only the fun. It's hours of fun, hours of entertainment for somebody to do that to you. And every single car will hit the same puddle to any pedestrian that's walking past. I mean, I'll say hours, it's like split second. But you getting soaked, that is going to be told as a story all day long. Somebody's going to have been having a laugh at your expense, especially them ones at the bus stop. Them ones who stood at the bus stop. It's a shame. I've had it done to me, believe me. I've had it done to me where I was running for a bus, and as I was running, I slipped in the mud on the dual carriageway centre bit, the grass in the middle. I slipped over, got absolutely covered in mud because it was pissing down the rain, got covered in mud. Everybody on the bus was laughing at me. The bus drove off, I didn't catch it. Then I was standing at the bus and somebody drove past and hit me with a puddle that went up, literally got me head to toe. I had to go home and get changed. I was covered in mud anyway, but I didn't think to go home and get changed first. I thought, fuck it, I'll just scrape that off when I get to work. But when I got head to toe, well, that's it. That's pneumoniaville. I ain't going to fucking hang about for that. I'm not going to sit in my shit job, soaking wet, feeling miserable. So I had to go home and get changed. And I was always late, so they didn't take that as a good excuse. They just thought it was just me coming up with another crazy excuse for being late. But it was true. Anyway, well, I had something else to rip off there. Where was it? Where's it gone? A planned nuclear power station is being opposed as it could encourage pop-up brothels for construction crews. You're fucking putting people in a stereotyping construction crews a little bit there, aren't you? They think they're going to have drug dealers popping up and pop-up brothels. Good if it does. If that's what fucking keeps people in the money. Saying that's catch-22 because you're going to earn your money on the site and then you're going to end up blowing it all in the brothels and on drugs. But not every construction worker's like that. Most of them are, but all of them are. No, they wouldn't be like that. It's a lad's environment, but fucking hell, there's not any factories around there. There's not any other building sites around there. Surely it's not going to be just people on a nuclear power station. They fucking be toxic. They could be toxic if they get busy. I think that's the one thing you should say. We don't want to be around a nuclear power station, full stop. We don't want to be fucking have that leaked into our lakes or into our running water or into our food. You've got to come up with a better excuse than the construction workers are going to be shagging prostitutes. They'll be like, yeah, so what? Let them. It's their money. There's going to be 25,000 people there. And where is it going to be? The Suffolk Safeguard. In Suffolk somewhere. So not only have you got, I'll tell you what, you might as well just take advantage of that yourself. If he's going to bring brothels and drugs into the area, get on the drugs and get in the brothels. But you know, you got to use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage, should I say? You know, even if you have got 7 toes and 3 noses and deformed face because you've been drinking the toxic nuclear water. Just make sure you use the condom. We don't want to be passing that on to the prostitutes. Some of the rest of us have got to go there. Thank you very much. Not me. I don't live in Suffolk. What's he called? Top politician Ed Milliband. Ed Milliband. They don't like him and his food, do they? He was so fussy about his diet. He once tried to eat lasagna by picking out the pasta and just having the sauce. But that ain't lasagna, then, is it? That's just sauce. That's just fucking tomato sauce. That's not even lasagna. Can't order or can I have a lasagna and can without the pasta, please. Can I have a pasta, but without any of the ingredients. Just sauce with vegetables in. Come on, that's ragu, isn't it? I was just thinking have a ragu. And they're saying that they're trying to diss him, but didn't he once have a photo of him scoffing a bacon sandwich and he looked like he was fucking enjoying it. Look out for the photo, Ed Milliband eating a bacon sandwich. It's like one of the worst because everyone, you're trying to get it in your mouth, pulling all kinds of a face to get it into his mouth, and somebody took a photo right at that moment. It went all across all the newspapers, almost killed his chances of being the leader of the Prime Minister. And was like, we don't want fucking somebody who eats his food like that be given the top job, please. That's just basically the newspapers. They just throw shit at every Labour politician. They make them look like fucking idiots. Try to make them look like idiots. They're not idiots in my eyes, but they try to make them look like idiots. Whereas like, all the Tories, I mean, please, what was that one guy doing? The one Tory wanking with an orange in his mouth. What was that one? David Miller, wasn't he lying on the floor masturbating with an orange in his mouth, or did he die? No, it weren't David Miller. I might have lied there. So, sorry, David. You did something else very similar. But somebody died with an orange in his mouth. And he was a Tory. Who was the other guy? Oh, I'm going to get his party wrong, so I'm not going to mention him anyway. It was Keith Vaz. He might have been Labour. I don't know. It was fucking posh. It was posh. Anyway, ripping off the taxpayer with his expenses claims. And he was shagging rent boys and doing drugs when he was the head of one of the drugs, the drugs advisory board, and he was ordering cocaine off rent boys when he's married. So anyway, fall from grace they do when you get caught. That one, forget about the construction workers. What about our fucking politicians? Wherever there's politicians, that's where the brothels are popping up. Believe me. Anyway, and the drug dealers. What's this one? Donald Trump's coming out with a series of rallies. He's going around the country in rallies trying to drum up support for his... What was he doing the other day? He bought a press conference from the Four Seasons. It ended up being a Four Seasons landscaping company car park. Nothing to do with the Four Seasons, I don't think. And they had a funeral parlour on the right of them and a dildo company on the left of them. And they give a press conference from there. They're fucking up, aren't they? Things are going wrong. And he also is going out and he's going to state that the vote was fraud, and the others are pushing it hard. The press over there are pushing it hard that the other guy has won it, Joe Biden. I don't think we've heard the last of that. I think if he has got information on voter fraud, he's keeping it close to his chest and he's going to whack it out in the court. So it's a soap opera, and it's quite interesting. But I'd rather he just. I'm with the Biden camp anyway. I like Kamala Harris. I'd like her to be the president. I mean, Joe Biden's got fucking, closet. He's got shit in the closet. Literally, he's got skeletons in his closet as well. But he's done some good stuff, but he's also done some really bad stuff. Ask all the fucking thousands and thousands of black fucking poor kids that have spent their whole life in prison for having a few fucking grams of cocaine or a few bags of weed on them. Ask him that one. Anyway, eating curry helps you live longer. That's good. Curry's my favourite food. You're going to see me. You're going to see me for a lot more years yet, or hear from me in a lot more years yet, because I eat a lot of curry. A diet rich in chilies, a key ingredient of spicy food, of course, led to 26% drop in heart disease fatalities. Well, I didn't realise it was related to heart. I do, at least it counteracts all the shit that I do to my heart. Anyway, so I've got a bit of a balance. I'm on a bit of a seesaw there with a dodgy heart. I've got a spicy food on the one. I've got all the fucking shit that I do on the other. Partying. Yeah, we all party. Takes it out of you. Lack of sleep, one of the main things. Sleep is sleep's for wimps anyway. But it's good to get it when you fucking need it. But I always feel tired when I don't need it. You're tired when you're on a bus, or when you're driving, or when you're trying to watch somebody, or when somebody's talking to you, somebody important in a meeting, and they're talking to you, and all of a sudden, the wave of like total fucking comatose comes over you, and you're struggling to keep your eyes open that much that you can't hear a fucking thing that's coming out of their mouth. But when I go to bed, I can't sleep. Crazy. It's all wrong. It's all back to front. Or maybe I should drink some of this. Super cheap. This is the last one I'm going to do. You'll be glad to know. Super cheap, high strength cider. Frosty Jacks. Everybody knows Frosty Jacks, especially if you're poor, especially if you're homeless, especially if you fucking need to fucking have a cheap drink and get out your brains completely. Drink Frosty Jacks, because it's a week's worth of alcohol in one bottle of cider, and it's the costs you amount of a coffee. Frosty Jack is a drink of the pure. I've told you, a drink of the poor, and it's the drink of the alcoholics. Unfortunately, I don't know how they fucking stay alive drinking that. I mean, they do die young, but they start drinking it at about 20, and they're drinking it till they're about 50. All right, they're out of it by the time they're 55. But still, how the fuck they managed to do 35 years on it, I don't know. But yeah, it's powerful stuff. You needed to smell it and you're out your brains. Maybe I should drink a little nightcap of that before I go to bed. The only problem with that is I won't be getting up in the morning, so I'll be sleeping very well, but I won't be fucking getting up. That's one thing that at least not being able to sleep is good for, getting up. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and go out now. I've tempted you. I've tickled your ears with that drink. Go out now to get your normal bottle of wine for a nice little tipple. You're going to come back with a bottle of Frosty Jacks and say, how did that happen? Where have I got that from? And it's going to be me, the devil, talking to you through this podcast. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll do another one tomorrow. See you later. Bye.